evening, everyone. This is Michael Wade at Bankstown. Uh, some people who was planning what they call it an overthrow against federal government. We don't know how much this situation is serious. This media didn't tell that much. It's being displayed on the SBS. But I think that is showing that there is some serious problem about how people are looking at the government, especially the federal government. So it seems to me Mr. Morrison thinks that he's magnificent in some way, maybe, and all of his body think they are super special people. Look, it's not the problem of Australia with severe psychopathism. Honestly, there is a wisdom. I've been advised by some merchant. When one customer complains about something, it means there is that day 500 people that day didn't make a complaint. That was the only one who made a complaint, but the other 500 they didn't do. So we've been for 1 year and something like 7 months, something with your games of Corona drama, and you can imagine every day you have maybe 10,000 people who's not happy, okay, with what you're doing. We'll wait and we'll see about these news. It's still not clear who's doing it, why they're doing it. Nobody knows. However, there is something about myself, by the way. You see, I'm in match with the federal government. Really. I made a mistake in my life. When you go to a systematic way of doing things, you will get into trouble. My sister, when I was a child, I don't know how did I came with this system. I don't mix and play with my mates. My friends used to be my teachers and adults, and, adults, and I get used to that most of my life. I have to say, I become like one of these wise guy in an early age, and of course, I enjoy to be achieving a lot. I'm the one who can find solutions. So what happened after 2007, they draw all the money out of Australia after all the crisis and everything or whatever. When I traveled to overseas and spent a couple of years there, I came back to Australia and I found, because most of my friends they left, they're elderly, retired, this, that. I know almost nobody in Australia. Nobody. So I start like learning swimming from ground zero. This is what happened to the Australian government regarding to the vaccine. I was watching Four Corners, and definitely all Australian they know what is Four Corners. It's the ABC documentary. It's very famous and well known. On the 2nd of July 2021, for one day, Four Corners has made its documentary about Corona. And there's a lot of stuff to it from day one. And it tells that the government didn't know what to do. Simple as that. They're not qualified to run this stuff. Honestly, this is excuse me. This is the result that you will get into it. I'm sorry, Mr. Morrison. You look, and everyone there is like some helpless people in some way. I think the real solution is supposed to be something very different from what I tried. As I said before, I made a mistake of going systematic. They went to the cheap option. Just go and buy some vaccine from somewhere. That's it. And they're being very happy with what they're doing. The real reason I think they save money. And this is the major problem with the systematic thing that I was talking about. They want to save money, save money, save money, save money, save money. Well, there are things you can't save money to it. And when you're trying to save money, you may cost somebody life. Simple as that. So it's like someone who insists to say wear clothes when it's raining. You may catch cold, not necessarily the corona, Mr. Morrison. Well, and by the way, in that program, they supposed to show us that Mr. Morrison getting the vaccine. We did see. Did he get the vaccine? Did he get the vaccine, Mr. Morrison? We don't know. If he's just been taking photos and then he left. We don't know. And nobody knows. And I search every way and I contact every way. Nobody can prove that. However, I think was the real option for the government is to make a coalition with the countries around New Zealand, Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia. If we make some kind of what we can call it united efforts, they could, I think, very easily to produce that vaccine. And I think it will be much easier and available. And by the way, in the long term, it will be much, much cheaper even. But as usual, let's save money. Well, look, it's time to give up what you are doing. And by the way, this is a story of some overthrow attempt or plan or whatever. It tells exactly, man, you are making a fool of yourself. And I'm looking also at New South Wales government and all of the options and talking everything. Why all of you hopeless like this? I'm not saying that you have to make miracles, but honestly, you didn't look smart in any way. Especially the Minister of Health when was talking about the health workers who joined the demonstrations. Well, your own staff, they don't take you seriously, guys. They think you're lying to them. And you still don't want to do anything about that. Wow. Is it the problem of this country, your severe psychopathy like this? It's better for you to take a deep look at yourself. And as I said before, in your dreams, you'll be elected again. In your wild dreams. Good night, everyone.